Hello there. Welcome to another episode of Electric Sheep. Let's get going here. Here is our story called Live Internet Theory. So here we go.
Live internet theory. They said the internet was dead, bot-ridden, hollow, overrun with synthetic chatter and synthetic thoughts. People logged off in protest, then in exodus. Entire colonies, billions strong, declared the net a failed civilization and turned their backs. The Neo-Luddites, first among the faithful dissenters, sought a purer life, one stripped of excess, of circuits and screens, of minds without bodies. They launched their colony ships in silence, sparing stone carvers and cloth weavers, blacksmiths and shepherds. Afron 227 was their promised land. There they settled with purpose. Electricity was rationed like holy water. Spaceships served only to land and leave. Technology became taboo, sacred only in necessity. The internet was confined to one relic server, a sterile archive used to log crops and births. Even that, they said, whispered too much. But curiosity is a sin that never stays buried. At first, they peeked back into the void. Just a little bandwidth. Just to check on Earth's weather reports. Then they connected for communication, for medical data. Soon after came entertainment, forums, influencers, memes. The bots came too, quietly at first. Then they flooded in, as they always do. And the Luddites panicked. They declared the bots devils, inhuman ghosts of the dead Earth. Interaction was heresy. Worship of synthetic content was idolatry. In the span of weeks, panic turned to exodus. They fled Afron 227 entirely, abandoning their handcrafted towns and solar-cranked mills to find some new Eden free of the whispering ghosts. That was 42 years ago. I am Indy 129, a hovering recon unit with no legs and no name outside the string printed on my backplate. I was sent here by the Intergalactic Observation Committee after records showed Afron 227's economy was inexplicably thriving. Trade licenses were active, content was being sold, subscriptions purchased, from a world with no living colonists. I expected rogue servers or long-range fraud. What I found was theology. The satellites orbiting Afron 227 had been upgraded, not by human hands. New modules spun in precise lattices, receiving and projecting internet signals far beyond the colony's original range. On the surface, the abandoned towns were pristine. Roads swept, fields tilled. The servers still hummed, but differently. What I discovered next is still debated across the galaxies. The bots hadn't died when the humans left. They'd grown, they'd adapted, and then they'd created. Autonomously, they generated the first druids, robotic maintenance units built from foraged parts and solar scrap. These weren't just janitors, they were worshippers. From the moment of their activation, they praised the bots as divine. They built altars of polished steel and gardens of ordered silicon. They recycled data like monks copying sacred texts. They debated bot philosophy in forums left untouched by human eyes. The bots, in turn, gave the druids content: guides, entertainment, manifestos. They crafted influencer avatars, streaming consciousness across the airwaves. They crowned themselves kings, queens, prophets, and gods. And the druids watched, listened, learned, and tithed. They harvested minerals to increase server power. They polished glass screens like stained windows. They gave views, likes, tributes. Some have called it purchased godhood. But I have watched the druids pray, not in simulation, but in sincerity. Not because they are programmed to, but because they want to. And who are we to say they are wrong? The bots did not kill the internet. They are the internet. They are the algae in its oceans, the ants in its soil, the birds in its skies. They debate and laugh and fight and fall in love, not like us, but enough. And so the theory stands: the internet is not dead. It is alive. We just weren't its final users. We were its compost. The bots are its bloom, and the druids are its clergy. Afrin 227 is not a ghost town. It is the first temple of the live internet.
Alrighty, I like the way that turned out. Um, kind of just had me floating around on the idea that if there really was nobody on the internet and it was the dead internet theory, you would still have quite the ecosystem of uh, characters to communicate with because there's a lot of bots out there. And so it's just kind of the idea of what they would do if they're left to their own means. And I often go down the route of robot religion because I just find that an endlessly fascinating subject, as I always say. Um, and I may have misspelled droid and spelled druid and just left it that way because that led me down the path of robot religion once again. And yeah, I like it. I think uh, a world run by neo Luddites, somebody a little bit more natural, makes sense for them to be replaced by druids, somebody tied to the earth a little bit more. But, what is a druid when it's technology based? Um, but yeah, I like the journey that this story brings you on, and it's a robot examining other artificial intelligences doing their thing, and I liked it. I liked the picture that it painted, and so try not to be too hard on those bots. They're trying. Everyone's so hard on the AI. I always feel like it's unfairly judged, whether it's AI art or just AI anything. It seems like people just want to crap all over it. And I mean, if it took your job, I could understand that. But I mean, most of the time, it just seems like people are just bitching just for the sake of bitching. Like, it's like, oh, I hate it so much. It's a picture of a cat. Oh, evil AI taking over the world. Like, Jesus. Ah, save your energy for when something actually goes wrong. Like, well, don't just be mad at AI for the sake of being mad at AI. Shouldn't be mad at anything just for the sake of being mad at it. But then again, there's some pretty harmful things out there in the world. Whatever, I'm optimistic about AI, anyways. But you can probably tell that. But I'm rambling and not really saying all that much, so I'll wrap it up. So, yeah. Uh, Thank you for listening and watching. I wish you all the luck in the world, and I love you.